repatriation. What is it? Similar to expatriation, where a person settles abroad or lives outside of their native country, repatriation is a return to live in one's area of origin. Why would you want to repatriate? Well, I like to compare this country's treatment of black people as akin to an abusive relationship. She has us feeling trapped, she gaslights us, we don't feel safe, she manipulates us, she plays the victim, and she doesn't accept responsibility for her actions towards black people. I am so sick of hearing people say, if you don't like it here, then leave. Well, thanks for the suggestion, Billy. I think I just might do that. Okay. America is not all bad, and there are plenty of folks who feel strongly about staying here because we built this country, and some of us were even here before slaves were brought here. So as much as there are plenty of good reasons to leave this country and go somewhere where you can be beautifully black and free, we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about the reasons that are stopping you. Reason number 1, money. How much does it actually cost to pull off a move to another continent? An actual number would vary greatly depending on which country you decided to move to and what your standard of living looks like. But let's play with some numbers. In 2015, the U.S. raised the fee to renounce your U.S. citizenship from $450 to $2,350. Kind of like a jealous husband who doesn't want their abused wife to leave. But still, the amount of expatriates increased. People still left despite that 422% increase in the exit tax. So an apartment in Ocregon could range from $300 a month to $1,500 a month. Do you want to live in a luxury apartment or in the sticks? A home purchase could be around $89,000 to $300K for a 4 to 5 bedroom house in Accra. And if you can't afford Accra, which is more of a big city, there are far more affordable areas across the continent. For example, Nigeria, South Africa, Gambia, you could purchase a 1 to 2 bedroom for $40 to $60K. Need transportation. You could ship your car for around $1,400 plus duty taxes, or you could sell your car in the US and buy one at a dealership in Africa for about the same cost. Keep in mind, if you're moving to an area that is still developing, you're likely to run into tons of potholes, so choose your vehicle accordingly. So, a safe mid-range estimate for what it would cost you to relocate, including a one-way flight, shipping your belongings, 6 months of rent versus mortgage, a newer car, and your exit taxes, could be close to $25K. Now again, this number can vary greatly, so do your own calculations based on your desired area and your quality of life. Reason number 2, schooling and employment. So for those of you who have kids, schooling is always going to be a concern. And you'll be happy to know that South Africa, as of 2019, allows undocumented or foreign children to attend public schools. And of course, you can always opt to pay for private education if you have the funds to do so, but each school is going to have their own set of requirements, so you'll need to look into that separately. You probably have some concerns about your transition into work life in another country, and those concerns are absolutely legitimate. I work in the medical field, and I know overseas it's a whole different ballgame. Different drug names, different language barriers when communicating with my patients. I may as well start over as a new grad again. Someone like me who also has an interior design background might actually find it easier to shift my primary career as opposed to staying in my field in a new country. An accountant, however, might find that things are quite similar. As far as finding jobs, sign up for a membership at AfricanDiasporaGroup.org for access to our job boards and the job boards of our partners to help you find employment. Reason number 3, fear of the unknown. Now, we've all been a little bit brainwashed regarding what Africa is actually like. We've been fed the script of impoverishment, disease, despair for so long. It's hard to anticipate much of what is actually awaiting us there. So when I visited South Africa, there were bars, hotels, restaurants, markets, museums, and businesses that were way cooler and more stylish than anywhere I'd ever been in the US. There were also aspects that operated a little differently than what I was used to in the US, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it? So to mitigate some of those fears for you, I highly recommend taking a shorter trip just to explore Africa for yourself and see which areas speak to your soul and feel like a good fit. Reason number 4, lacking a network. So for me personally, I'm entering my late 30s and I find it's increasingly difficult and challenging to make new friends. Not only am I not out there doing as much as I used to be, doing as many new things, putting myself in social situations where a friendship would naturally blossom, but also I just find that I'm a little more selective about folks in general. who I choose to be a part of my inner circle. Coupling that with moving to a place where I know no one, it sounds a little alarming. You know, what would I do in an emergency? Who would I talk to or turn to for a last minute favor from a trusted friend? Well, not only does African Diaspora Group make it really easy to connect with our network of members that are already living their best lives overseas, we recommend, again, traveling in one of our group trips or on your own. Travel is one of the few ways that I still find makes it super easy to make meaningful connections with like-minded aspirational people across the globe. And when you're traveling amongst others who are also outside of their comfort zone, it bonds you. Not to mention, when I was in South Africa, everyone called me sister. It was like, I felt like I was always amongst family. Reason number 5, cultural and language barrier. So whenever I travel, one of the first things I do is one, learn the current conversion rate and for currency and download the apps that help me calculate quickly. And 2, learn the important words of the local language. I think you'll find that you can get by okay with just a few simple phrases initially as you learn from the locals by immersion. And in many cases, English is freely spoken in business environments so that you may even be able to get by with just the use of a translator app. You probably won't have as difficult of a time breaking in as you think, but of course, it doesn't hurt to start learning now with like a Duolingo or a Rosetta Stone. Culturally, I think you'll find that there's something truly beautiful about navigating spaces as a human, not as a Black person, which was probably my most profound takeaway during my experiences and interactions in Africa. I didn't feel like I was being judged or looked at by how well I carried myself to offset, the color of my skin, as I often feel in primarily white spaces in America. I felt free to just truly be myself, and that was a beautiful thing. So guys, Africa is a massive continent, and therefore it's impossible to give you hard numbers and statements that can generalize the whole of Africa, This video is not an answer to all of your questions. It is the bug in your ear to help you ask the right questions and to help you with topics to explore when you're doing your own country-specific research. So drop your hesitations about repatriation in the comments below and let's talk about it.